What is a Christian atheist?
Somebody sounds like somebody made it up.
Christian atheist. I mean, is that like a secular Christian that I was talking about yesterday? Yeah, that's what that sounds like. Like the whole concept of a secular Christian.
Maybe you're a Christian, but you don't quite believe in the God that the Bible tells you to believe in, like the way I believe in Optimus Prime.
Right.
I would count.
Aaron believes in Optimus
Are these
Prime.
Christians that just go to church on Easter and Christmas?
Well, I guess maybe.
Well, anyway, folks. Oh Lord. You've talked about this on the show before, and actually you've tweeted about this, about folks going after President Obama and his belief system and sort of who he is as a person.
Right.
And so they're questioning his belief in Christianity or him being a Christian.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, actually, are they? Is that the title they're giving him? Christian atheist?
Yes.
This morning, what's this dude? Franklin Graham was on television, just abnormally froggy, explaining his opinion on Obama. And he's like, "Well, he says he's a Christian, so I guess I have to believe him." And then, but he's like, and then they asked him, he's like, "Well, do you think Rick Santorum's a Christian?" He's like, "Yes, I do." He goes, "But you don't believe Barack Obama is a Christian?" He goes, "I mean, if he says he is, yeah, like yes he is. But I mean, he's a seed of Islam." He's like, "What? What?" Apparently, the fact that his father was Muslim, he says, "Well, under Sharia law, that's what Muslims look at him. They look at him as the seed of Islam." And I'm looking at what he does. He's allowing Christians to be killed all across the world. It's just like, what? What?
Well, he goes on to say a Christian deist or a Christian atheist is someone who wears the label Christian, but they really act and live as if God doesn't really get involved in affairs and he's not really close. And I would even call him a Christian atheist. They're Christians by label, but they really act like God's not alive.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what that means.
He says he's more secularist.
Really?
It's a hard word to say.
Okay.
Secularist?
It's like he gets offended if you say he's not, and he's always challenged anyone who claims he was a Muslim, not a Christian.
Yeah, because he's not a Muslim.
Not a Muslim.
This is the silliest cover. Yeah, he's not a Muslim. Yeah, I know what you like to say, and they keep bringing it up. Like even when Rick Santorum, they asked what they about when Rick Santorum threw out the whole theology. He follows a different theology, not the one based on the Bible, but a completely different theology. He was like, "No, I don't question the president's faith. He's a Christian. I mean, hey, he went to Jeremiah Wright's church for 20 years," and I was like, "Really? Really? That's what you just threw that in there?"
But he did go to Jeremiah.
Yes, but he's not doing it.
I know.
Yes, because he's doing it because it's amazing for the conversation. So everyone who ever felt uncomfortable about Jeremiah Wright, they can go, "Oh, right, he is from that." Yeah, he's either a Muslim or an angry black Christian, because that's what. Yeah. And I'm not amused by it. It's really annoying because I mean, has any other president had to go through this much about their faith?
No.
Well, remember Kennedy was Catholic.
But but they didn't believe he wasn't Catholic. They didn't
believe he wasn't Catholic, but he was definitely criticized heavily criticized during the time. You know, like we look back at it now, and because we have the mystique and everything about the Kennedys, we don't realize, we don't pay attention much to that was a big deal.
Absolutely.
When someone like Santorum uses the term Muslim or whatever, they'd mean terrorist, extremist type of leaning towards a jihadist type person. So they're trying to other the president, like Elon always says.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
If it was a religion that no one paid any mind to, like if the president was a Buddhist, nobody'd care. But you can attach him to. You can throw. Oh, excuse me.
But notice, there's not. And not that there should be this equal sort of thing against people's religion. People have their religion. That's the freedom we have in this country. Everybody has their respective religion. There's no, state religion, right? Mm-hmm. There's not that same about Romney being Mormon. Conservatives are uncomfortable with him being Mormon.
I believe the evangelical right is not amused by it in any shape or fashion.
They're not, but they're not going after him. the same way.
Right. Well,
for
I mean,
being a
there's Mormon, and then there's the icky Muslim. Because the best part about it is, like, we talk about this and we keep going, but he's not Muslim. But what if he was? So effing what?
Right.
Which is why this is such a really interesting fight that we're having, because it should not matter if he was Muslim. Right. So what? He could literally do the 5 prayers every day. So effing what?
What does that mean?
What is that? Is he a bad person? Is he ruining America via that? No. But they keep making this argument like, oh no, he's I mean, I guess he's Christian.
And then it kind of puts us in this defensive mode where the president is saying no, I'm not, not a Muslim, and all of our focus and our conversation is around him not being one, as opposed to, you're right, Elon, in saying, so what if he was?
Right. And this
that
morning,
being a Muslim does not automatically equal being a terrorist.
Right. It's like it's a stupid thing that we should. I believe that's why we don't get into that, because like the idea is like, that's not. What's the so what? Like that's not even a good argument. That's not a good connection. So that we don't even fight with on that level. And this morning, here's the thing for you Christians out there that I want to see how you guys respond to this. One of his things when he was, I guess, critiquing Obama's Christianity was the fact that Obama didn't go to church.
Didn't go to church when?
Apparently, there was a time when Obama didn't go to church. He started going to church when he was an organizer in Chicago. So he used that as an argument against...
so he's not a Christian now, but he goes to church now.
But he doesn't want to, really.
But he didn't... Because at one point in his life, he didn't go to church.
Because he was planning to become the president. You can't become the president without really holding on to it.
And you have to go to church. You have my big thing, you have to be Christian, you have to go to church. I mean, you have to go to church. You have to.
But sometimes you can't make it to church.
I don't care if you had every Sunday free. If you are a Christian, you can be a Christian without going to church on Sunday. That's ridiculous.
Okay. So I think he definitely is taking the extreme route on it. But going to church is part of Christian faith. It's
an aspect of it, but Christianity, I thought the whole point of Christianity was that you believe in one God and you believe that His Son died for your sins and that you should live a certain life.
Right, and that in that life includes going to church.
But it doesn't. You are not a Christian if you don't go to church.
No,
that's my point.
Part of living a Christian life is going to church.
But it doesn't. It's not a whatchamacallit. It's if you look at a list of things that says who's a Christian. If you say, "Oh, I haven't been to church in a while,"
there's a list.
Apparently, apparently there is. If you said, "I haven't been to church in 3 years," are you not a Christian now?
Oh, I mean, that's not the only indicator.
My question, no, that line, just that. The only thing you've done outside of Christianity is that you didn't go to church for 3 years. Maybe you've done volunteering. Maybe you've fed the homeless. Maybe you've done all this, but you didn't go to church for 3 years. Are you not a Christian?
Yeah, you can still be a Christian and not go to church.
Yes, that's my point, and I find that terribly offensive as someone who is not Christian. I don't even believe in that. But I'm like, but you can. It's about your faith. It's about what you believe. It's about there's a spirituality.
Yeah, it's to follow. Being Christian is to follow the teachings of Christ, and one of the things Christ is maintaining the Sabbath is is going to church.
What if you reject organized religion like this, but you still believe in everything else? What if you just don't like how?
Then that's the difference in terms of nuance between if you are going to follow the principles of Christianity, but not follow Christianity as a religion. Because if you're following Christianity as a religion, going to church is part of it. But if you decided that you want to live by Christian principles, that's different. But Christianity as the organized religious dogma and sort of all that stuff is part of it is going to church. Just like for Catholics, part of it is going to confession. Part of it is going to mass.
But you don't lose your Christian card if you decide you're not doing that.
I'm saying there is a difference in terms of the argument. If you're saying that you are following Christian principles, then I would argue yes. But if you are a Christian in the sense of being aligned with the Christianity, part of it is going to church.
I feel like
it's just like being part of a membership group is you attending
And actually, that's only one version of Christianity. There's also when we get into Christianity, it becomes a bunch of different stuff. There's a bunch of rules. I mean, in some places you aren't allowed to wear pants.
Yes.
As a woman, you're not allowed to wear pants. But that doesn't mean that, and if you do, are you not Christian now? Like, there's a lot of rules. There's a lot of levels within this. But I find it ridiculous to police people within their religion like that.
I agree with you. I agree. I go through the same thing. I agree with you. And someone.
Yeah, you're not someone who goes to church every Sunday.
I don't go every Sunday. I do go, but I don't go every single Sunday. So yeah, I think it's
the idea of that being one of the checks. That's one of the checks of that, and the idea that when looking at him, they question his ideals because of they use the argument about his the whole thing with the church with birth control. Mm-hmm. Which I find hilarious. Like, really? So that makes him not Christian because he wants women to have a choice. And he uses presidency to question it. It's like, oh, you mean when he wanted everyone to be able to be on healthcare? Yeah, that really seems anti-Christian, that whole thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, you want to keep all your money? Okay. Yeah, that seems okay. Yeah, yeah, you're right. He's bad Christian. Bad Christian. This is stupid.
So hopefully we'll have a conversation, maybe an in-depth conversation on our religious stuff or whatever later, because I see the chat room is all up in arms about the confusion of Christianity, the religion, and what Jesus said, and sort of all that stuff like that. There is a whole bunch of different layers, in that conversation. The Christian church didn't exist when Jesus was, when Jesus existed. So there's a whole, different difference in terms of what you practice. And I'm not judging people at all in terms of what their religion is and what they consider themselves at all. We're having the conversation of what people have said and and the interpretation of what they said. So I'm not judging people at all, whether you go to church or not. As I said, I go to church. Sometimes I don't. So, yeah.
Yeah, I have an issue with the whole process and this whole thing and the whole idea of how they're looking at Obama and using this as a way to question him and further other him. Because that's what it's all about. He's like, we have to maintain, because instead, like, I don't understand. If you don't like his policies, just say you don't like his policies. Say, I don't like the way he governs. But stop trying to other him. He's American.
I kind of wish they would just come out and say that they don't like him because he's not such and such. I would appreciate
if it was all about, hey, I don't like his liberal tendencies, and yeah, all right. I mean, he's not that liberal, but I mean, we can have a fight about that. But okay. But that's not what they're doing. The fight is that he is not one of us. He keeps apologizing for America. He believes in a European ideology. He is a seed of Islam. He's all these other things that just continue. They do everything but point out. Like, the fact is, like, they keep saying, oh, his race doesn't matter. But apparently everything else about him that is separate from you matters.